the agreement?
I don't know.
My job's done.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I decided to do a room tour. This is the room that I grew up in, the very bedroom that I have transformed over again with all the trends that came up from 2016 to 2020, then 2021. And this is the last transformation that I did back in 2021. And since then, I haven't changed my room since I left Sydney in 2023. And now that I'm back, it's bringing back a lot of memories, especially because all of these things that you see in the back, these DIY, not me, my mom. So let me take you through all of that in detail in my room. This is the entrance of my bedroom, and there is not much happening over here. But then we have this wall, which I'll explain later, which is also DIY. Then we have my closet in it, which has a huge full-length mirror in the middle, which I use to take outfit pics from. I'm not gonna show inside because it's very messy. This side, we have my laundry basket. And then I have a little bucket over here, which is not my stuff, which is my brother's. It's a few cars. And then we have my favorite little bookshelf. If you don't know, I am a huge bookworm. I used to collect a lot of books back then. And this shows half of it, because the rest of it is stolen and the rest of it is in the other shelf. And in this shelf, we have the classics such as Dog Diaries, Harry Potter, Heroes of Olympus, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the classics. My bed. By this, I think you can probably say one of my favorite colors. I think it's kind of obvious what my favorite color is, because even my room in Sydney has a lot of blue going on, but there's like a blue bedroom. Yeah, this is a huge queen size bed with the bed frame, which is separate, and both the bed and the bed frame, I got them customized for myself for my bedroom. We'll get to these later. Okay, so this part of my bedroom is the main part. It's like the main character of my bedroom. This was completely DIY'd by my mom. This is blue color fake grass, which she bought from PETA. Is it PETA? PETA, yes. She bought from PETA, and she got this little net thingy, and she got all these flowers separately in bouquets, and she plucked it each out separately. There was a flower that fell off, I could have showed it, but yeah, these flowers were individually taken out of the bouquet and then put into these little point thingies, and she basically made this entire thing from scratch. And then she stitched it on to this grass patch and hung it up like a curtain, because this was a window before and I just wanted to cover it because the weave wasn't that good. So she just hung this up, attached these lights on top. It's coming apart because it's been a while, but when that light hits this, it just makes it really pretty and really blue. So yeah, that's how she made this. And then moving on to this part, also the same scenario, except she made these separately, like this row separately and this part separately and that row separately. And then she made this neon sign, again out of scratch. She got this little LED light string thingies, again from PETA, and cut out the shape of NES out of this clear plastic, put the light over it, and through this grass patch, and the light comes out from this side. Wait, let me show you. The light comes out from here, comes from behind this and under the bed. You can see. So if I switch it on, I don't think it's working anymore, but back then when I switched it on, it would turn light blue and show my first 3 letters of my name. Same scenario for that as this one. And that was also another window that she covered. I have 2 bedside tables. This drawer is actually kind of locked. I can't open it. But on top of it, I have this huge teddy bear that I got from Christmas. Huge one. And next to it, I have this little tiger I had since I was a kid. It used to sing. It doesn't sing anymore. It's been like 20 years. So yeah. Then moving on to the other side. So this is the bedside table that I use. And this drawer is filled with junk at the moment, but it used to have like a torch, a notebook, but now it's just junk. The torch is still there though, because Sri Lanka, if you know, there were so many issues with power cuts, so yes, a torch was essential. And then right now on top of it, I have this little soft toy, which is Angel, the unicorn. But I used to have this on the bed, but somehow somebody moved it to the bedside table, so it's on the bedside table now. And this is my bonnet that I brought from Sydney, so yeah, I keep it there. And then I always carry around a water bottle. Back when I was in Sydney, it was the Stanley, but now since I didn't bring my Stanley when I came here, my mom gave me this water bottle so that I could just carry it around. And this is my AC remote. I have the book that I'm reading currently. I know this is Dog Diaries and I am like way too old to be reading this, but I just wanted to remember my childhood, so I started reading this again when I came back. I'm like 2 pages in. Okay, so this is my table, which was majority of where I spent my time back then, because I was studying for my O-levels and A-levels, and now, not gonna lie, it's messy. This is not how I kept it back then. Somehow the printer got added here because I'm not here anymore. The printer was never in my bedroom back then. And this is my laptop that I brought from Sydney, my bag that I brought from Sydney. And over here, again, following the theme of my bedroom, I have a light blue table lamp. I don't think it's working anymore, but it also has this little clock. It also has this little clock on it. It's also not working. Half the things in my bedroom aren't working. I have another clock which is also blue, which is completely discolored. It doesn't look blue anymore, but yeah, it doesn't work anymore either. And then I have all the Lord Buddha statues, Lord Ganesh pictures. I have all these religious statues and images so that it helps me when I'm studying. And then I have a little pen holder with all the pens that don't work, and another one with all the colored felt pens. And then I have this, which is a coaster that my brother made back in what? 2017? He made a little coaster for his school DIY. It's paper. It's like newspapers just rolled up, but it's pretty cute. It's pretty dirty right now because it's filled with dust. I haven't used it in a while, but back then I used to use this while I'm studying and having a drink. Then I had a little soft toy, a little cow, which was a birthday gift that I got. I have this little fan, yet again because of the power cuts in Sri Lanka. And I don't know what these are. These stuff were already here when I came. Apparently my brother left it. These are my pair of glasses. This is the first and only Polaroid picture that I took of me and my brother. Somehow my brother disappeared from the picture. Somehow my brother disappeared from the picture. Like, it's only his t-shirt. His face is And then I have my microphones and the book that I brought from Sydney to read, which I haven't been reading since I've been reading the Dog Diaries, and some pens and roller. We're not gonna look at the drawers and the cupboard because I don't even know what's in there. Yes, and I told you this was my laptop. Yes. Now we'll talk about this wall and the one in the opposite side. So this wall was also DIY'd by my mom. So basically we painted this wall and the wall opposite in blue. And then my mom took a little shopping bag and then she scrunched it up, dipped it in some silver paint and started just dabbing it around the room. Around the wall of the room. And that's how she got this texture, which is very nice. Kind of like a shine to it because it is silver, it's not ash. And you might have noticed that my bedroom is blue mostly, but it also goes by silver, ash sort of colors because those two were my favorite colors at the time. My balcony curtains. These curtains are yet again going with the theme silver, sort of ash, sort of silver. And here we have my balcony. I did not step outside in a while. But if you know, for protection sakes, we have the drills set in. And the view is pretty much that. I have my AC on the top. I don't think I needed to say that, but I said it. And I forgot to mention, since my room was built during the 2020, the COVID-19 TikTok era, where we had those LED lights all around the bedroom, as you can see, I'll show some videos of my bedroom back in the prime because right now it's not its prime anymore. It's been a while. Then moving on to my favorite part of my bedroom, which is my vanity. Now this was also custom made for me. I did not expect my vanity to come this long, this thick because this has enough space for me to actually use it as a table. This is my old laptop that I left behind. Sometimes I do my studies on my table and my brother just comes over and he hangs out on this table using my vanity as his study table. And all the way down we have a lot of drawers, a lot of space, storage space. And even at this side we have a lot of storage space. At the bottom is a huge drawer. I'm not going to show inside because it doesn't really have nice stuff anymore because it's a mess. I haven't been here, guys. I haven't been here for what, 3 years? 2 years. So it has been messy. And then I do have this little couch for my vanity, which is very soft. This is my vanity mirror, which came separately, which we had to connect to the wall and then push my vanity over. And these are flowers, which were again my mom's ideas. She bought them from Pena and she mixed 2 colors. This is the darker pink and another pink. She combined them and just put it around my vanity mirror to make it look a lot prettier. And there's also a light going around my vanity mirror. When lit up, it's very beautiful. Collection of perfumes. So this is a little disc sort of thing that my mom made. I don't know which material she used, but it's pretty solid. And then I have this little candle on this little tray. This candle doesn't really smell good. It's normal, I would say. And then all these perfumes are gifts that I got from my birthday. I have this one, Broken Heart. This one I finished. I don't know why it's still here. And then I have this one from Spa Salon. This one, I personally love this bottle. It's pretty. And it's also over. And then there's this one. And some matches for the candle. And an oil bottle and a silicone bottle for my hair. Moving on to this side of my vanity. Okay. So over here I have a painting that I did a long time ago, which I completely painted in black. And then I drew Stitch. Also one of my favorite characters if you have seen my room in Sydney. there's a lot of stitches around my bedroom. And also Stitch is one of the characters who are blue color, so I really love Stitch. And who doesn't love Stitch? I drew Stitch, but this was different because I did it like it was a neon sign, which was also huge back in 2020. It was huge. So I drew Stitch and I painted him in one of those neon sign looking ways with a little heart. And yes, this is completely from acrylic paint and I did it on my own. And then I have my Polaroid camera, which I brought from Sydney. And I just kept it outside, which is also huge back in 2016. And I didn't have Polaroid camera till like 2024. Yeah, 2024. And now that I have it, I'm in love. And then over here I have a little, which is huge, which is really heavy, a little glass globe. It doesn't really show much of the, it doesn't show the countries, it just shows the continents in Asia, North America. It's really heavy. It's just used as an ornament at this point. Then I have two little My Little Ponies. Yeah, I used to be obsessed with ponies. Kept them as little decorations. And this is a little jewelry box. I don't know how this landed over here, but it's here. I'm gonna keep it. This is the hair leave-in conditioner slash hair mask that I used, that I brought from Sydney. So yeah, it's also here. And I have two claw clips that I brought, a pair of glasses that I stole from my dad, and these are all the jewelry that I use on a daily basis. Basically, I wear all of this jewelry at once, because if you know me, you know how much jewelry that I love to wear. And this is the little sample of perfume from Sydney, and I brought it here because I didn't want to bring the huge bottle. But yeah, moving on, I have my other suitcase that I brought from Sydney, and on top of that I have all my makeup, skincare, and jewelry. And then I have my ring light, which I also bought from Sydney. And then over here I have, ladies and gentlemen, I have my 2023 vision board and little Barney over here, little Barney. But yeah, as you can see, I actually achieved all of these goals except this. I achieved all these other goals, and I'm really happy with that. This was the first vision board that I ever did. But moving on to the one before the last part of my bedroom is my other shelf. And this shelf, all of that is in these separate binders. I don't remember the colors anymore, but I remember I color coded it. I think this was for math, and this was for biology. This was physics, I remember that. These were again math. This was literature. I think this was for chemistry, if I'm not wrong. No, I think this was for chemistry. I can't remember, honestly. I don't really remember as much, but yeah. And then at the bottom also, it's again my class materials, school material stuff. And over here I have a few notebooks, which are my mom's, which I'm planning on gifting to some people when they come back to Sydney. And then over here I have a painting that my brother did back in 4th grade, 3rd grade. And yeah, it's in my room now, so I'm gonna keep it. It's really pretty. Okay, moving backwards. Over here I have more of my books. Yet again, half of it is stolen in with my brother in his bedroom. But over here I have the Divergent series, the Maze Runner series, my own book. If you haven't seen my book, Maze Runner series, the Divergent series, and some more books that I've read. And then I also have my books over here. You can see some of my other learning books. I don't know what you call this, like encyclopedia, human body encyclopedia, some storybooks, again a dinosaur book. Some of those books that I really loved. And then this side also I have more like 100 fact books. If you know, you know. I used to be a huge fan of these books. This was my first 100 facts book. And then on top over here I have my thesaurus. And over here we have Rubik's Cube, which is also not mine, which is my brother's. Moving on to the top shelf, I have a little gift that I got from McDonald's. One of those Happy Meal toys. Okay, I have my little globe. This globe actually floats, but I have to put it up like I have to pull this down like this and switch it on, and it kind of like floats like that. But I can't do it right now because I don't have the plug to it. I don't have the cable that connects it. And then over here I have another silver / black colored clock. Again, not working. I love to have broken clocks. As you can see, that clock also doesn't work. And then over here I have another clock. Guess what? It's not working either. It has my face on it. And then I have this was another gift. Then this is just a picture of me they got back in 2020, I think. Yet again, another little mug, which was also a gift. And over here I have another toy from McDonald's. And over here I have, and then this is yet another little photograph, a collage done by my cousins who gifted it to me for my birthday. And then I have this soft toy and this little soft toy over here that I got from my cousins for Christmas, and this is my brother's gift. Somehow it landed over here in my room. Okay, so this painting I did back in 2020 or 2021, again to go with my bedroom theme of this blue color dress and the ash colored background. That's just a girl playing a violin. And then over here I have my little trophy that I got playing cricket. It's the UTS College graduation scroll. And then this is my microscope. Yes, I do own a microscope. So now over here behind this shelf, now I have just closed it down because I don't use it anymore, but behind this shelf is a door which leads to my brother's bedroom. And then over here, which is the last part of my bedroom, I have two of my guitars. I have this acoustic guitar, electric one. And I have a little shark cable. The shark cable, which is gold and it's like really heavy. Yeah, so I really love this electric guitar. That's the same guitar which you can see in this photo. And right down here I have one of my oldest soft toys ever. So guys, that was my room tour and thank you for watching. I know my bedroom is not in its prime anymore and it has been stuck in 2020 since I left, and it hasn't really been changed at all since 2020, to be honest. Since right after 2020 it was a lot of exams. I was doing my O-levels, then I did my A-levels right after, and right after that I started college, and immediately when I was done I left Sri Lanka and I moved to Sydney, which was basically the reason that I couldn't do any transformations to my room, because I was that one girl who would do an entire room transformation every year. And 2020 was the last transformation, huge transformation I did, changing my wall colors and doing all that. So yeah, since then it's frozen back in time in 2020, so it was very nostalgic when I came back to Sri Lanka and I saw my bedroom. And now that I was doing YouTube, I was thinking finally of doing a room tour, because I've been wanting to start YouTube since I was a kid, but I was never brave enough to upload it. I've recorded, but I've never uploaded it. I still have clips of me trying to record YouTube videos, but I never did. And now that I have the guts, the confidence to post it online, I felt like doing a room tour of the room that initially wanted me to start YouTube. Like really, I was this close to starting YouTube when I did my entire room back then, but then I never did. So today I finally did a room tour. So thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you again next week with a new vlog. Bye!